Okay, we haven't made a video for a while, and we're taking a look at the Dodge Dakota project. Right now I'm getting ready to put on an exhaust manifold. I just got some guide pins sticking out of the block there, and I'll use the guide pins to hang my exhaust gasket on, and then I'll be able to put the exhaust manifold on right there. I ain't got that tightened down yet. I believe that's correct the way it goes, but I'd have to look at some pictures myself. It could be that linkage goes on the other side yet. Got the little chrome deals on the valve covers now. Got the alternator on, it's not tightened down yet. We got a lot of stuff to put on. Radiator, power steering. But right now what I'm really working on is the exhaust. That's what I want to put on next. Also, I got to hook up my fuel lines. And I got these little clips here to do that from Dorman. One's 5/8, one is 3/16. The kit came with an extra 1/2 inch on one side. I don't need that. I still am not real sure on how to put those on. We're going to take a look at what's going on underneath the truck. See if I can find my creeper. Okay. Alright, here we go. Here's a creeper. Underneath here we've got our front drive line in. Now, transmission transfer case, linkage, that's for your four-wheel drive. Linkage for the transmission shifter. There's still one more that's got to come off the air intake. I had to heat that up with that switch right there, that's your park neutral switch. I had to heat that up with a heat gun to get it to plug in. It had gotten cold and was kind of out of shape. Alright, there you see was wanting to see that. There's the clip, one of them that's on. That's how they look after they're installed. Supposedly I cannot service or replace that part, but they're called quick disconnect, and I haven't figured out for sure how to quick disconnect. I'm thinking what you do is you got to push the line up on far onto the solid part as far as you can, and then you push that plastic piece down, and then you can pull it off. That's the only thing I didn't try before, because there's supposed to be a quick disconnect feature. So I'm thinking that's how those work. I just realized that yesterday. Got these lines in place. We already have a new fuel pump in. I put in recently. That's our transmission. We have the drive line in now. That was match marked at the differential end, so the drive lines are balanced, so you got to match mark them. It'll spin correctly and won't give us any problems. I still got to put a nut on for that. That's for your check your power steering. I mean your transmission fluid. There we go. There's a shot. I haven't put that in tight yet because I want to get the exhaust on. And then I think I have to work around it to get the rest of the stuff on. Got to do things in a certain sequence. You got to be careful not to bury stuff, or you get to do it over and you have to undo what you did. So we're trying to keep that from happening, and I don't think we're all that far away from starting this truck. We have oil pressure showing on the gauge in the dash. That'd be right here. There's the gauge right there. I'm not going to worry about demonstrating that right now, but it works. Also, we have good compression in the engine. We have compression checked it. We did that after the intake manifold was installed to reassure the fact that the intake manifold has been installed correctly. Because as we've now learned, if you put the cork gaskets in underneath it and tighten the bolts too tight, you lift the heads off the block and you have no compression. But we did use an inch-pound torque wrench on the intake manifold. We used black silicone on both sides of the intake manifold, the cylinder head gaskets, and black silicone only across the ends of the intake manifold. That is the recommended procedure. So, there you have it. So we got a really nice looking truck. Yes, I know I still got to put the dash back together. I also installed a brand new heater core, and that's with the air conditioner too. So we want to test drive a few things, including the shift linkage. I want to make sure that all works before I put my shields back on the bottom. And in fact, I'm going to construct one more and put it on. I don't know if it's missing, but I'm going to put one on. So there you go. A brand new truck is almost completed. Almost ready to start. And when we do that, we'll give it a half-hour test run. Make sure there are no codes. We do have an OBD scanner that we can use. Made by the Unova company, right there. So we do have a scanner to check for codes while we're running the vehicle. We'll make sure it passes that. There's no trouble codes on the dash, which is why I brought a bunch of electrical stuff in case we need it. I got my liquid tape to use as the insulation. I got a bunch of heat shrink here. Cable ties to tie things up. So we're going to make sure there's no electrical problems, no vacuum problems, because the transmission does shift with vacuum. It does use a motor, but that switch runs off of vacuum lines. It switches the lines to make the transmission shift. And also the transfer case and the front differential locks and unlocks. So we've got a lot of stuff that runs off of vacuum and electricity, both with the motor. That's why on this you don't have to get out and lock in the hubs. So we're on our way to a brand new four-wheel drive truck. We do have a ways to go, but yet we are not that far. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.